Good day, everybody. Everyman Prepping here, and today we're going to do a quick talk about another attack on our food production over in Europe, and also an update on corn production and some of the inputs and how they're causing farmers to once again be strapped for cash and not be able to produce as much. As always, please like this video, subscribe if you haven't done so, ring that bell, get notified when I make more. If you have subscribed, thank you so much. Everybody, please share this with your friends and family and comment below with what you're seeing out there. Now let's start with the article about the attack that happened. Well, we don't know it's an attack. We're assuming they don't know the cause of the fire that happened, but as we can see here, fire breaks out at world's largest or biggest food producing market in Paris. I have another article here from a French magazine that says it's one of the largest. So you'll see articles out there, the largest or second largest, but it's big no matter what. So as you can see here, there's a picture of the fire going up, but there was a giant fire at a massive produce market that supplies the French capital and surrounding region with much of its fresh food and bills itself as the largest of its kind in the world. So it's another attack. We see them happening in all kinds of different locations and places, this time in Paris. But, this place, as we can see, it's 7,000 square meters, about the size of a football field or soccer field for those over there in Europe and all that. It's huge. It had 12,000 people working there. And so that's a lot of people out of work. Who knows how long to be down for, how much food was taken out. And so it's another supply chain disruption, another destruction of food, and it keeps going day after day. They always say there's no such thing as a coincidence. So all these things happening at a time when there's food shortages in the fields to create a supply chain problem by burning down food processing, I don't think it's much of a coincidence. As you can see from this article here, it's from the Le Monde. I just want to point out here, this says a major blaze swept through a part of one of the world's biggest fresh produce markets on the outskirts of Paris on Sunday. Like it says here, the warehouse is about the size of a football pitch. That means soccer for those of us here in North America, in the United States, that is. So it's huge. Like it says, it housed a lot of people. And all we can do is keep advised of this when they happen, knowing that it's going to continue until they break the system, until it's finally broken. I want to continue on now with some articles about soaring input costs, accelerating adoption of technology to farmers. So, we all know that fertilizers are in short demand, water's in short demand. Everything you put into a farm to produce the food is going up. Diesel for the tractors, everything. So what do farmers do? They're either going to go out of business or they got to change. And one way some are trying to change is they're going to use technology. And I can see a problem with that, and I'll get to that in a minute. As we can see here, though, it says a research surveyed 1,300 crop farmers, 80% of whom cited input costs as the biggest risk to profitability. Yeah, everybody, I guess, can see that. Rabobank came out with a statement the past few days saying that they think that potassium and phosphorus are going to be a better supply next year. This is a bank giving guidance, by the way, so it's not a farm group, it's not a trade organization, it's bankers. So, take that for what you will. But they're saying those two items two of the three biggest inputs are going to be more available. And they didn't say cheaper. They also did say, though, that nitrogen is going to be scarcer and a lot more expensive, 30% or more at least. Nitrogen is what most farmers use. That's what you put in your fields to make the plants grow bigger, the fruit grow bigger, faster, greener. If we don't have that, you can have all the potassium and phosphorus you want, to make it flower and produce the fruit like that. But if you don't have the nitrogen to grow it, still going to have food shortages. So I think Rabobank's kind of making a play to keep prices down as low as they can right now. Like new contracts are being, commodity contracts, food contracts are being signed for the production that's coming in. I think that's what they're planning on, but they are warning that nitrogen is still going to be bad next year. So as we know, it's going to be bad in 2023. The harvest is just coming in. That food will be going to, the food coming in now will go to production in 2023. Right now we're on last year's food still. So that's why things aren't as bad, even though they're bad now. Just wait till next year. And going on though, it says some 50% of small farmers plan to use new yield increase products. Doesn't explain what that is, but it's going to be some new technology. 30% of large farmers, those that have more than 5,000 acres, it says, plan to use green, quote unquote, say green products such as biofertilizers, citing the lower cost per acre. To me, biofertilizer means sewage, probably. What else? I mean, what other biofertilizer you can use that's cheaper than nitrogen? You're gonna put compost from chickens and cows that are out there? No, I think they're gonna use treated sewage from humans and put it in the fields, and that's already been a disaster where it's been tried. I can see disease problems. I can just see the population pushing back on that, but it might be a lot cheaper to pump poop into the fields and fertilize it to grow than getting the nitrogen from natural gas. We'll have to see, but I'm not looking for it. That's why you grow your own food. If you can grow something in your garden, in your backyard, on your terrace, do it, because it's not going to be biofertilized. Do what you can, grow what you eat. Do it, do it now. Get your seeds now. But by the way, this is the end of the season. You should be harvesting. I'm putting away food almost every day. It's a big canning weekend. Canning peppers, tomatoes, all that. You should be doing the same thing. Put your food away now. Take some seeds out of the harvest now, so next year you're ready to go for your own food again. Let's see. Continue on. Now farmers are seeking alternative products and technologies that, according to this guy McKinsey, they'll squeeze the most value from each acre. It says some examples are some large farms are already employing precision agricultural tools such as drones. So the problem I can see with this is if you're using technology can fail. I mean, farmers always been hands-on. You got your tractor, you got your tools. It's all combustion engine. It's things like that. They're not technology driven per se. I know they got GPS driven tractors now, and they test the soils for missing nutrients. That's all well and good, but when we're starting to fly drones around to do stuff, we're using algorithms or computer generated models, or we're using nanotechnology to nano deliver fertilizers to the exact plant that needs it. We all know what happens with your computer. It breaks down a lot. You're rebooting it. You're fixing it. Computer technology fails all the time. And that's in a normal environment. What's it going to do out in the field? The dust, the elements, the wind, the rain, the freezing. So, you flying that drone around in a rainstorm, tornado, snow. No, you're not doing any of that. Those nano fertilizer gadgets, wherever they are, working in dust storms. No, probably not. So technology will fail. It's just doomed to fail, I think. If you put more technology, it's more things they can break and actually hurt the food production. So I don't think that's going to solve anything that we have going on here. And one last thing I want to point out here is you see here that we have from Pro Farmer, this is off Twitter, we expect the estimated size of the U.S. corn crop to be revised lower. Kind of warned you that USDA always shoots high. Looks like there's an abundance. Contracts are set with the farmers. They get a lower price, and thus, they don't make as much money, and the commodity traders make out, and the producers make out, and the farmer loses. This is, but a small crop is likely already factored into current price levels. That I don't think is true either. Meaning demand will be one key to longer-term market direction. Well, you got farmers now that what they're trying to do is some farmers are thinking about holding their crop back. They're going to store it if they can. If it's dry enough, they're going to store their corn, their soybean, and hold it off the market if they don't have a contract to produce it to a market or to a commodities guy. Being that they know it's worth more than what they're being offered. They know there's shortages, and they feel like they're getting shorted, which I agree with. They should get as much as they can. I mean, their input costs are going through the roof. They're going to go out of business. And with the USDA, what they do, and what the banks do, make it seem like there's not a problem. They get a lower price, and it's like they're trying to drive them out of business, which they might be. And why Bill Gates is buying all the farmland so then he can control it, at the end. So it'll be interesting to see if the farmers can hold out. The ones that do hold out for a better price, maybe they can get more money. We know fertilizer is going to be a problem next year as well. Lower productions for nitrogen. Crop yields are going to go down. We're going to see more attacks on food production, more attacks on the supply line, more food going bad. So it's not a good update out there. The only good news out of this, or a good thing you can take away from this, I should say, is this should spur you on. I know everybody's tired now. End of the season, you're worn out. You've been doing a lot of stuff in the garden, harvesting. Just keep going at it. Don't slow down. In a couple, probably then been to October, most of it's done. All your hard work is done. You put it away for the winter, and you can plan on what you're doing for spring. Those that live in better climates, don't slack on that winter garden. Plant your winter vegetables, your cabbages, your lettuces, your broccolis, your fava, your Swiss chard. Get that in the ground now. Get it in there so you can have vegetables through the winter. When there's not a lot of fresh stuff out there, things are expensive, you have fresh food. Make sure you're doing that. Like I said before, post in the comments below what you're doing, what you think about what's going on. And until next time, keep your ear to the ground and head on a swivel.